How would you like to build your life and grow your relationships while achieving more happiness and peace? Can you imagine experiencing more positive results in life than you ever thought was possible? Come and get a plan to achieve all this and more at Life Strategies with Dr. Michael Phillips. Every Tuesday at Kingdom Life, experience great networking, incredible musical artists, a powerful life strategy seminar, and get your questions answered to your most pressing issues, all within 90 minutes. Doors open at 6 p.m. for networking, and the seminar starts at 7 p.m. Come expecting and leave refreshed and prepared to experience the life that you were created to live. Tuesdays will never be the same, and neither will you. See you there.
Looking for productivity, we're looking for profits in our business, and we're looking for promotion in all areas, right? So today, I'm not going to be before you long, but I've got about good 30 minutes to get in a lot of information. So open up your eyes and your ears. I hope you've got pencils and paper ready. We are talking about networking for success. Networking for success. You all did and should have received a pamphlet or a folder this morning that does have some notes for this presentation. So I give you a little bit of a guideline, but you want that pen out because I'm going to throw in some extra nuggets I want to make sure you all catch as we go through this presentation here. So we're talking about networking for success. I want to outline my objective for you. The objective of this time together is to obtain a general understanding of networking, to take away practical application to see fruit in your career and in your business. All right. We also have a goal. Okay. Our goal then is for this year to build relationships with our coworkers, supervisors, our peers, and business associates to obtain promotion or a new business partner that will increase productivity. All right. This presentation is absolutely for those who are career-minded as well as those who are entrepreneurs or business owners. So I'm going to kind of switch back and forth with some examples for you all to be sure that you take away some practical things to immediately implement in your business and in your career and look for things to change quickly. All right. Let's get started. Networking, when it comes to networking, this is truly a shift in a mindset because lots of people say, oh, networking, I don't have time to go to events. I really, in the evenings, maybe I'm not that social butterfly, and so I stay away from those things. What I want you to understand are two things. Number one, you already have hundreds of people crossing your path on a daily, weekly basis, depending upon your office structure or your business, and if you're out in the field, and we're not taking advantage of all of those opportunities. Okay, so you do have time for networking. It doesn't always mean that you're going to a special Orlando networking event. You got to get your business suit on and your business cards ready. But there are lots of opportunities in your daily life to be networking and finding those partnerships that are going to bring you the success that you need. Number two, what we're missing out on, if we are not constantly looking for an opportunity to network, we are missing the chance to advance our careers, to build our associations with people and our networking system, and we're missing out on profit. The end result, right? Whether you're in a career, you're looking for a promotion to give you a greater salary, right? Or you're in a business looking to see greater profit on a weekly, monthly, or yearly basis. So those are the things I want you to understand, that you have time for networking and you need to make time for networking, okay? Awesome little quote here I found. It is estimated that the average person knows about 250 people. If you think about that, right, you could probably stretch your mind and figure, I do know about 250 people. Of course, then that means that each of those people in turn know another 250 people. This means that for each new person you meet, you gain access to a potential pool of 62,500 people separated from you by just 2 degrees. That means by 2 associations, 62,000 people. So when people tell me, the job market, it's just rough out there. There's no way, I'll leave my job to look for anything greater because there's just nothing out there. You mean to tell me amongst 62,500 people, there isn't just one opportunity that's better than what you've got already? I know there is. There isn't just one person that maybe you could partner with business and have a whole new venture that's going to bring you a stream of income in your business that could be multiple hundred thousands in the next year. Just one person. That's all it takes, right? 62,500 people that you know by just meeting someone new, maybe at the grocery store. You're standing in line, right? You say, oh, I see you like Chex cereal. I love Chex cereal. It could be that simple. We're human, right? You get up in the morning and eat breakfast just like I do. Why not open conversation with something just that simple? Before you know it, people, I'll tell you, when you engage them, they're willing to speak. Lots of times we look like we've got barriers up, but they're just looking for a friendly face. They're looking for somebody to extend their hand and say hello. Before you know it, you know about their Chex cereal, you know about their daughter being sick, you know about their car being broke down and the fact that they need a new job. And what if you're the person who's got an opportunity for them? Networking isn't always about you, and really it shouldn't be about you. It should be about what you can do for somebody else, and in turn, I'm telling you, you're going to find just what you need in that conversation. All right? So let's open our mind to network marketing. We're going to talk about today how to make it happen. I want to give you 4 practical things that you need to walk away from here and begin doing on the job and in your business to start to see change. Number 1, this is the key. You need to greet each new acquaintance with an openness to learn more about that person. It's a willingness to help and offer to stay in touch. That's networking right there. Just building a quick relationship and leaving an open door so you have the opportunity to connect with them at a later date, or they have the opportunity to connect with you at a later date. You want to be sure that you make it about them and not about you, as I just mentioned. Don't be so concerned about the things that you've got going on day to day to miss those opportunities, because it is very easy to get in line at the grocery store and to be texting, to be picking up the phone and talking to somebody else that you really don't need to be networking with, probably. You know, they don't have much to offer you maybe, but you have an opportunity sitting right there in line with you. And grocery line isn't always, the way to go, but it's a very simple example for you all to understand. You really just never know what that person may have to offer you, but we won't know until we open our mouths and we decide to engage that individual. Make sense? Great. Number 2, we're moving on quickly. We want to, when we have a networking opportunity, to ask the what, where, who, why of their business and be prepared to listen. Lots of times we'll get to talking, and before you know it, you talk to the entire conversation. You leave the conversation. Number 1, you can't remember their name. Come on now, how often does that happen? Let's be realistic. You can't remember their name, let alone remember what their business is about. And so it's crucial that we are asking those questions, an open-ended question, to allow them the opportunity to talk back to us, and you just start filtering that information in. Filter it in, and that's going to give you the chance then to really find out where we're going to connect. Do I have an opportunity for you? Do you have an opportunity for me? Maybe you don't even have an opportunity right now, but I'm going to hold on to your business card, file it away, and know that someday when I need somebody, a great plumber, that we had a conversation about plumbers, or your husband is a plumber who's looking to increase his business, I'm going to say, you know what, that lady at the grocery store, I'm going to give her a call and see what I can do, all right? That's what we want to look for. So we want to look for questions, for instance, what is it that you do for business? Where do you work at? Who is your clientele? Who do you serve in your business? Those kind of questions. When you're at the office, you're at the water cooler, you're at lunch, instead of just sitting and eating lunch, engage somebody. Cheryl, I've seen you at lunch for weeks now, but what is your title here in this department? Oftentimes we'll sit at work and have conversations with somebody and not really realize what it is that they do in the same company that I work for. And who knows, maybe that's the position that you've been looking to promote into. You know what I'm saying? So we want to be asking those questions to find out more about them. And then we want to be prepared to find a solution. When you find somebody at the grocery store, at your office, let's say Cheryl is at lunch and she says, you know what, I really have loved working for this company, but I've got to make more money. My husband was laid off. I'm the sole income earner. And so I really am looking for promotion. Maybe you've heard about a promotion within the department or a sister company, or maybe not even in the same company, but you have an opportunity to offer them to see the increase that they need in their life. And every time you have an opportunity like that, I can't tell you, time and time again, it is returned back to you. It may not even be that through that individual. Before you know it, a week later, here you were, looking for another job, and that open door happens for you. And it's sowing those seeds into other people that is going to help you see the return on that time time investment that you took with them, okay? That's really, really important. Just don't miss those opportunities to ask those questions, to not just have idle conversation, but to ask questions that are going to give you information to be able to utilize for yourself as well as others, all right? Number 3, let's talk about being at the right place at the right time. This is crucial. I'm going to keep a minute on here. Let's keep here for a minute. Strategically placing yourself in networking opportunities. This is what it's about. It is planning your day to be in the place that you need to be to find that opportunity. Planning your week and your month to be where you need to be. So at work, we're talking about, being at the water cooler. A lot of people get, well, I'm here to work. They're paying me to work. And so I'm not even going to take my 15-minute break. I'm going to stay to myself. It's important that you get out, that people get to know you, that they get to see your face. That's why it's not always the greatest thing to go out for lunch. Why not take a bag lunch? Why not stay at work? Be in your break room so you have the opportunity to meet other people. If you're business owners, take advantage of those trade shows that you're invited to, networking event, social networking. All of those things give you opportunities to meet other people, to be able to network effectively. These, especially at your work environment, I can't tell you, when you are engaging other people, they get to know about you personally, which is important. They see that you're a real person. They see that you've got things in common. They also get to find out more about your skill sets, who it is, what you do in your job, what makes you successful, how you got to that position. So it's important that you're there and sharing that information. At the same time at work, it's important that we are taking advantage of those things so we are a team player. Lots of times for those of us who may be introverted, or we just don't think that we want to go to happy hour, those kind of things. Happy hour isn't always the greatest environment, but I will tell you, some of my best networking happened when I took a step out of my comfort zone and did that. And a prime example I do want to give you, one of the banks that I worked at, I've spent my career primarily in finance and banking. And so networking is a big thing there. And of course, after work events. And so they do a early, kind of happy hour event at the Blue Martini. A couple years ago, I went to it and I thought, I don't know, I've never been there. I don't really, feel like that's the place that I should go. I'll tell you, I am so glad I went. I was only there 30 minutes. I said I was going to go, say hello. I wanted to be a team player, right? Stepped my foot in the door, had my Sprite, visited. How do you know the head, our regional manager of all the banks in our entire area, came in 15 minutes before I was ready to leave. Sat down. I took my opportunity and sat right next to him. Ended up having a conversation, stayed almost 45 minutes longer, and within 2 months, I had my own banking branch. I truly believe that opportunity, when I sat at the Blue Martini and visited, he got the chance to hear that I grew up in the Midwest. I, grew up in a small town, where I went to college, those things that he would have never known about me unless I would have gotten an interview with him. And how do we know that it's very difficult sometimes to even get an interview? I was the youngest potential candidate for a branch manager and ended up being the youngest branch manager in Central Florida. But that 30 minutes that I spent with him, I'm telling you, opened up doors. So we need to change our minds about these events. We need to do what is comfortable for us and always what's appropriate. But at the same time, don't block out an opportunity. Always weigh those considerably. Understand who are the people that are going to be there, who you want to be seen by, and be sure you come prepared. Because he could have easily walked in the door and I didn't even walk up to him. He would have really never known who I was. But I sat right down, introduced myself, said, I'm so glad, if you've got a few minutes, I'd love to visit with you. I didn't really even say anything else. He started asking me questions. Before I knew it, he was controlling the information, controlling the way the conversation went. I walked out of that door, and like I said, 2 months later, had my own banking center. Awesome, right? That's what networking is about. So be sure that you're in the right place at the right time. Building these relationships with people at these outside events may not always bear fruit for you immediately, but it's the seeds that you sow. It's the people that you get to tell them about who you are, where you came from, hear about who they are. You're going to find connections, and it's important that you get out and put yourself in the right place at the right time. Everybody understand? Great. Another great thing about strategically placing yourself is really long-term planning. You want to, at the beginning of your month, really sit down, especially as a business owner in this matter, and look for opportunities for you to be out there. For instance, the Arise and Shine Business and Career Seminar is a great opportunity for a business owner to set up a table, to be viewed by a group of people, to be able to get to interact, which is awesome, especially in a smaller environment like this. You're going to get the chance to hear from each one of these business owners, find out what it is they do, and they can find out what it is that you do. We even have a couple vendors actually here who have job opportunities. So for those of you who are looking or know someone who's looking, it's important to engage. Don't just allow the vendors to sit up here today. Side note, make sure that you engage and visit everyone's table. You want to be sure that you are placing yourself where you can be seen, planning the month ahead. What events do I want to go to? I gave you some tools at the bottom of this form as well for you all to see some internet sites where it'll take you to local business networking groups, and then a couple other things where you can do social networking as well. So make sure that we're taking part in those. Next and last, I want to talk about follow-up. Follow-up. Salespeople know how important follow-up is, right? I see some people smiling out there.
When you see and read about the world, what does it all mean for your life, your family's life? What's the plan? Is there a plan at all? Big question, right? The good news is that there is a plan and a purpose for you today. We're Kingdom Life, and our goal is to do life together. At Kingdom Life, you'll see living proof of a loving God that's real and relevant for everything you're facing today. Orlando, find us online at kingdomlife.tv.